Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Greg Plays Games. Today I'm going to be discussing this game. Ass is in the title twice, so that's honestly pretty reflective of how I feel about it. I'm talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows, which came out a little earlier this month in April, or maybe March. I actually don't know when it came out. I got it a few weeks after the release date. But I wanted to talk about it because there's been a lot of positive, there's been a lot of negative, and everything in between around this game. I just kind of wanted to chime in and give my 2 cents on it. Because I'm really not a fan. I bought it just because, there's a lot of hype around it. I really liked the Japan setting. I was kind of really interested in the dual protagonist setup and just to kind of see what it was like. It had been a really long time since I had played an Assassin's Creed game, so I was also kind of just eager to have a free roam experience. And I do feel like while the games are never necessarily my favorite, I've never disliked any of them. I also did not play Assassin's Creed Valhalla, so it's been a while since I've truly played an Assassin's Creed game. So I want to give my thoughts. Not a fan, straight off the dome. Just not a fan of the game. And it's really kind of taken me a while to understand why. And I think I've really kind of clarified that and just kind of wanted to share my thoughts and see what the general opinion of the internet would be if you've stumbled upon this video. So appreciate you checking it out. Definitely leave your thoughts if you're a fan or not on Assassin's Creed Shadows. But I think the very, first thing for me is the immediate comparison to Ghost of Tsushima, which was one of my favorite PlayStation 4 games. I think that Ghost of Tsushima really, really took a lot of inspiration from Assassin's Creed, from just how the protagonist is set up. Like he's literally an assassin from Assassin's Creed if you really kind of narrow it down, minus the hidden blade. And the Ghost of Tsushima protagonist kind of struggles with the balance between his heritage and the traditional path of the samurai, while needing to adapt to the times and be a stealthy shinobi ninja style character who fights from the shadows and doesn't necessarily use a code of honor or ethics behind his combat. Now, we don't really see that same level of internal distress being addressed in Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's a lot more one-dimensional. It's just, obviously feudal Japan, very war-torn and struggling with famine. So that theme is prevalent throughout Assassin's Creed, in addition to Ghost of Tsushima. And so there's just a lot of similarities and crossover between the stories and obviously in the setting. But separate from that, just in the way the games are set up, they are, objective, tower-based, go to this area, unlock the tower, get more information on the surrounding area. So Ghost of Tsushima is basically an Assassin's Creed game, yet it is so much better than this game. So I kind of want to explore why that is, because that's really the missing link on why this game hasn't clicked with me in reference to Assassin's Creed Shadows. So some of the things that Ghost of Tsushima does significantly better than Assassin's Creed Shadows is just the world itself. And I think a lot of people have had this issue with Assassin's Creed for quite some time now, where it's just here's a marker on the map, go to it and see what happens. Whereas Ghost of Tsushima is a lot more organic. It has the wind navigation system, which was really innovative for the time and still is today. I've not personally played any other games that use that mechanic as the navigation system, and it just frees up your HUD and it just kind of frees up your creativity, as well as just, making you appreciate being in that game world a little more. It's super effective. It's not always prevalent, whereas in Assassin's Creed Shadows, you can literally just get a map marker set up and then just have the game give you the path that is the most direct route to that destination. So I think when it really boils down to these worlds and open world games, it's really about the exploration and living in the worlds that makes these games immersive. And while Assassin's Creed does a phenomenal job of having pretty graphics, the weather system in this game is amazing. The wind looks really good in Assassin's Creed Shadows as well, but it's just the hollowness of the world. It's just a kind of veneer, and it's really easy to see through that, and you don't necessarily feel like you're interacting with it. You're just viewing it. and it's pretty glaring, especially when you compare Assassin's Creed Shadows to even a game like Breath of the Wild, where Breath of the Wild, it's a completely empty world. There's limited, buildings, limited people to interact with, and then when you do get to those areas, it just feels like an incredible discovery. There's just no real sense of discovery in Assassin's Creed Shadows. You're just kind of going through the motions. And it also just dumps a ton of quests at you too. And I just don't know who wants that. It's too much. I've played 40 hours. I've done side quests. The rewards aren't really significant. It's all visual and empty. Like, it's just, there's no consequences, there's no meaning to anything you do in this game. It's just like looking at a pretty picture and nothing more. And so when I really reflect on this game, I just can't even see myself finishing it. I've not even beat the main story, so feel free to roast me for that. But it's such a slog to get through anything. A lot of people have talked about the facial animations being impressive. I think it was IGN that I heard say that. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I've found the facial animations to be honestly distracting. The dialogue and voice acting, I've been playing in English, is not good. It is just, I don't know, and it's not even so much about the characters. I have fun playing as Nawe. Yasuke is not really fun to play as, but I do like the character. I do think the Stranger in a Strange Land storyline could have been interesting. It also would have been really interesting to see him develop his, ninja shinobi stealth skills, because it's just not fun to play as him. Combat is fun and satisfying as him, but actually exploring the terrain, navigating and parkour is just, it feels so heavy and cumbersome. It's just not fun to play as this character, and I really put that on Ubisoft for just doing I don't know what the concept here was. It was almost like it could have been one character that they divided into two. I just wish it was all Nawe or all Yasuke, not the double protagonist, because it just doesn't add any value to the storytelling, at least at the point where I'm at. So it's very frustrating to play. I would definitely not recommend this game, especially if you have a PlayStation and have never played Ghost of Tsushima. It's just impossible to recommend this game while that game is sitting there. It is still a much better game. Visually, it is more impressive. It's also the difference in the game's art style is just, I feel like Assassin's Creed Shadows is rooted in realism, whereas Ghost of Tsushima takes a more artistic directorial approach where, the colors are heightened. Everything is like movie picturesque, very large scale, grand. It just has a completely different feeling when you're playing that game. So it's honestly just very disappointing that Ubisoft tricked me into buying this game. I feel like I've been swindled by a snake oil salesman a little bit, and really disappointed with the game. It's all glitz and glam, but no real substance. So that's kind of my thoughts on the game. I've not beat it, so I'm not going to give it a score. I just kind of wanted to come on here and trash on Assassin's Creed Shadows for a little bit because they took $70 out of my bank account, and I'm pretty disappointed. So that's my video for the week, man. Kind of a bummer, but hey, that's life. See you next time.